Hello and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to teach you how to add simple text and manipulate it in Adobe Premiere Pro. Hopefully this will give your videos that extra pop that they may have been missing. My name is Adrian Kay, and with over 14 years video editing experience in Adobe Premiere, I thought it was about time that I share a little bit of what I know. The purpose of this video will be to teach you how to change something like this.
I found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
Into something like this.
I found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
Now let's jump into Premiere and see how it's done. So here we have a clip down on the sequence of this lovely lady talking to camera about a product. And what we need to do is just emphasize the words she's saying, giving a bit more punch. So let's just play it through quickly.
I found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families. I found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
So I'm going to select a few words from in her sentence that I need to emphasize. I'm going to begin here with found, when she says found. So simply, in order to get some text up on that screen, I need to go here to the text tool. And as you can see, when you hover over a tool, it always gives you keyboard shortcut. So I could press T or click on that and click anywhere on the screen up here. And I'm going to type found. Now, that font does not work for me. I don't know about you. So what we're going to do, in order to manipulate this font, I'm going to need the Essential Graphics panel. Now, if I don't have that present at the moment, what I need to do is go up here to where it says Window, click, scroll down, and there is the Essential Graphics. And that will open up this window over here. I move across to Edit. I will use my selection tool to make sure the text is selected. And here I have a window full of tools that I can manipulate the text with. First of all, I'm going to center it. This is for the purpose of what I'm going to be doing later. We need to center it. You can see here I have a rotation tool, I have a transparency tool, X and Y position tool, everything you could ever want to manipulate the text. I'm going to change this font because I don't like that one. I'm quite partial personally to this Proxima Nova one. That works nicely. I can also change the fill color if I so desire. And I do. Now the product here that we're working with, I don't know if you can see the little logo there, it's got a dark blue. Now I don't have the logo handy at the moment. For the purpose of this tutorial, I will just select a random blue color. But in future I can use the eyedropper tool and I will be able to, as you can see the text changing color there, I can just choose a color from within the clip, or I could open up the logo and choose the blue from the logo. As you can see, it's a bit small there. I can't quite grab it. But for now, the color we've chosen is fine, he says. That will do. So, first of all, I will just clip this word down by simply dragging it down, just like you would any other clip, with the bracket tool there, the selection tool, and I'm going to choose my next word. What I'll do is I'll just quickly skip through adding these next words. Now you know how to do that. As you can see, we've got all the text I'm wanting, and I've just got to position it correctly.
Found this awesome product.
Found. I'm just going to drop these, move these up onto a different timeline in case any of them need to overlap.
This awesome product.
And I want the words to start where she says them.
Awesome product.
That comes in here. Whoops.
Found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of.
So there we go. You can see I've positioned the words exactly where it is she says it. Now what I can do is, if I was leaving it like this without any more modifications, I could click on the selection tool here and pop, whoops, undo that. Pop these around the screen just for a bit of effect. Oh dear. Let's got the text a bit small. There we go. Now, you can see what I've been doing there. Let's just watch that.
Found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
There we go. That's got quite a nice effect, just as it is.
And introduced it to a lot of families. Introduced it to a lot of families.
I think that should be longer.
To a lot of families.
There we go.
This awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
There we go. Now there's all sorts of things we can do here. Like I could, if I so desired, increase the size of some of them. And I can even do that from here, as you can see.
Found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
So as you can see, adding a simple bit of text over the video is very, very simple. Next, I'm going to show you how to add a bit more pop and emphasize those words even more. If you're enjoying this tutorial so far, please like, subscribe and share, because this is going to help me out loads. It's going to help the channel grow, and I can bring you more of these tutorials in the future, which I'm really looking forward to doing. Now, let's make this text pop. So now we are back on the sequence, and what we have to do first of all is center all of these text clips by using horizontal and vertical center in the Essential Graphics pane over there. So click on them, center, center, click, center, center, click, center, center. Make this as quick as we can. Click, center, center, click, center, center. Now they're centered. What we're going to do is I'll click on the first one, and I'm going to use the effect controls up here because we need to manipulate keyframes. Now, if keyframes is something you're not familiar with yet, just follow along and you'll see it's actually very, very easy. I will make a video about keyframes at some point in the near future. Now, I'm just going to give us a bit more space here. What we are interested in is this line here where it says scale. The scale is at 100 right now. So, there, as you can see, I'm manipulating on the sequence and it moves up in here as well. Vice versa, the same happens there. What we're going to do is use the right arrow key and I'm going to click in 5 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes us to pretty much the right place in the text clip, and I am going to create a keyframe here using the toggle animation stopwatch button, and that turns us on now, and we are now using keyframes in this line. That gives us our first keyframe at 100% there. See, nothing is changing, it's staying at 100, but if I move all the way to the beginning of the clip, I can now click on this number here, hold and scroll to the left, and you can see that's reducing the numbers down to 0, and it's automatically given us a keyframe at the beginning. So what that is doing is taking us from 0 up to 100 gradually. So you can see that counting here, and you can also see it here when we watch the text grow. Simple. But for me, that's not interesting enough. That just grows and then stops. We want to give it a bit of a bounce. So 1 frame back from this keyframe, I'm going to click it again at 80. So I can just press this button here, which is the add keyframe, and that gives me a keyframe at 80. What I'm going to do is go back another frame. This time I am going to take the scale up past the size we want, maybe about 130. So what's going to obviously happen now is as it moves from one keyframe to the next, it's going to come along and go up to 130, back down, and then to our final size of 100. And then at the end of the clip, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to add a keyframe, which is keeping us at 100, all the way to the end, and I'm going to zoom it all the way down small and shrink the clip away into nothingness at the end. So if I play that now,
it found this awesome.
See how it bounces onto the screen? Bounces onto the screen and then disappears. What we want is that same effect on all of these text clips. Now the easy way to do that, instead of going through this whole process again, I can right click on this clip that we've just done. I can copy. I can highlight all the other clips, right click, and paste attributes. Now you can see there, it's talking about the scale, yeah, the video attributes. That's all we're interested in. So quite simply, I can press OK. And now if I click on one of these clips, you'll see it has exactly the same, and this one, and this one. You can see it's changing. It has exactly the same keyframes. Now, if I just press this and we play it through.
It found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
So that looks good as it is. But now what we're going to do is we're going to move them. But I can't just drag them, and I'll show you why. If I click on this and drag it across to here where I want it, it messes up this effect. It wants to start in the middle. Can you see? And it bounces across. And now, as that is an effect all in its own, but it's not the one I want. So I'll just click Control Z, undo that. What I have to do is manipulate it with the X and Y position up here. So it's very simple. I will move it across the screen there, and I will click on there, drag left and move it up. And then we'll click on this one, and I want that maybe over on this side of the screen. We'll keep the size the same. That's absolutely fine. I will click on this one. Let's put that, I don't know. Let's go back across to this side of the screen, and we can go down. So as you can see, I'm manipulating these blue numbers up here, which is the X and Y. Click on this one. Where should we have that? Anywhere we like. I can go down here. Let's go down to the bottom. Then onto this one. Let's go same side again, but let's have it higher up. Now, obviously, always being careful with the way you frame things. You can see I'm making the side here, the size here, very similar to the frame size there. It just looks balanced, you know. It wouldn't look correct if that was touching the top of the screen. It wouldn't look correct if that was all the way over here. Well, I don't think it would. That there works for me quite nicely. Okay, on to the next one. Now, we had those quite big. It's probably too big for my liking, but for the purpose of this tutorial, it will work fine. We put that somewhere fairly central there. And the last one, this word families. I think it's an important word. We'll put it where it's quite prominent next to her here. And I might actually just click on it, go back into my Essential Graphics panel over here, and just increase the size of that a little bit, because I believe that's an important word. It's moved it too far across for my liking, so I'm just going to pull us, whoops, wrong tool. I'm going to pull us back across to there. So now, if I was to play this, it will show you what the final result should look like.
It found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
Okay, one thing I would say there is that they're coming and going a little bit too fast. So maybe I'm just going to grow these out a little bit. And the problem we're going to have is I'll have to move the keyframes now, which is fine. If I make these words that little bit longer, I click on them, you can see the keyframes are not at the end anymore because I've extended them. Very simply, I can highlight these keyframes, move them to the end. Again here, highlight these keyframes, move them to the end. Here, highlight, move them across. Did I do that one as well? Yes, I did. They were just punching up a little bit too fast for my liking. Let's just see how that's looking.
Found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
That's pretty good. There was
Found
some...
this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
There we go. Save. Always save your project. Control S. One more time through.
Found this awesome product and introduced it to a lot of families.
And that, for me, is a much punchier video. Now, you imagine that with a bit of music on behind in the middle of the promo. It's very, very effective. So let me know in the comments below if you know any better ways of getting this same sort of effect. I am open to ideas. As you know, in Premiere, there are so many different ways of getting to the same result. Also, if there's any more tutorials that you would be interested in having done, please also write that down below, because I want to grow this channel. And if I'm adding tutorials that you people are asking for, then it's going to help us grow faster. Now, this is the part of the video where I would normally ask you to watch another one of my tutorials, but as this is the first one, I will just say thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to do the next one, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.